Good morning, kids. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Pop Girl Studios of turning video game power-ups into fantasy armors. Let's hop in and see which power-ups now become defensive.
Video game power-ups as suits of fantasy armor is an idea that I've really liked for a long time, but it just kept having other ideas picked over it, kept slipping by me, until I finally put it up for a poll recently, admittedly thinking it wasn't going to win, but being very wrong about that. So today we've got some fun art and banter based on video game power-ups. Hopefully all the things I picked technically qualify as power-ups. It was actually kind of hard to decide what did. And also, usually in my fantasy armor episodes, it's pretty clear from the lore that I'm presenting who it is wearing the armor. In this episode, they're just kind of arbitrary people that don't fit into the story. So hopefully you can ignore that weird little detail and enjoy power-up armors.
We're here for the armor,
like
not the people in the armor.
Subscribe if you feel like. But either way,
enjoy the show.
Hey, knock knock, Zilly, it's Benigni O'Clock. Sham's mech arm is all heated up and ready.
Ooh, starting off first with the fire flower for Mario. Interesting take.
To get cooking the sandwiches, so it's time. Oh, hey, look at you all armored up, like you're ready to go and kill some stuff. Looking pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet looking armor. Is it new or you just getting back from a hunt or something?
It is indeed new. I am attempting to create armors that specifically give wearer elevated magical abilities, and have been doing so with assistance from little wristwatch device you have given to me, Benjamin. Wait, you mean the multiverse jumping wristwatch thing?
Oh, cool.
I'm surprised you ain't come up with some kind of goofy name for those things yet.
I did, it's the multiverse jumping wristwatch things, or Mudjwawut for short.
Mudjwawut.
Well,
God
that's a terrible name, but anyway, what you talking about, Vasilia? What does that armor have to do with jumping around the multiverse?
I decided to try acquiring raw materials for armors from other dimensions, ones with more abundant magic. Leapt to multiple different worlds, not certain what I was looking for, until I found world where I could feel deep in guts that magic was everywhere.
Flowers.
Was labeled on the, what you call Mudjwawut?
Oh, please, bleeding tell me that name ain't gonna catch on.
Too late, it's canon now. Everybody loves it. Mudjwawut for life. Go on, silly.
Damn it.
Was labeled as dimension.
I'm sorry, you could probably just call it the Dimension Jumper. Or the DJW, there you go. Oh, the Dimension Jumping Watch. Boom.
B107 and had similarities to my world, but had abundance of other types of beings and creatures. I wandered into bustling village with beings who looked to be chef dragon, people who were large and muscular and had tusks, short little people with pointed ears, and better yet, there were many shops selling magical items that would be outrageously rare in this world, as if they were little trinkets.
Well, that sounds like he jumped right into Dungeons and Dragons or something. Did you see an orc with a lute and big burn over his shoulder named Whiskey McGraw?
That is a very specific question, and no, I do not believe I did. What, is that your D&D character or something, champ?
Yeah, I've played a few rounds with the Sci-5. It's pretty fun. D&D is a thing in so many different dimensions. Anyway, sorry, go on, Vasilia.
I spent the day in village speaking with many interesting people. One group of adventurers I spoke with even professed to have been from other dimensions themselves.
Ooh.
Anyhow, I went through village shops. Thankfully, my gold in this world was still acceptable as currency, and I bought many materials to bring back to this world to build armors. Though, strangely enough, some magical items do not seem to work as well here as in other worlds. Still work, but in more limited capacity.
Oh, I see now. The DJW, it teleported her. Well, it helped her jump to some kind of world convergence area where it had branches in all areas, but also was its own, which is how she was able to get all the equipment for these armors to then craft them. Okay, so she didn't go into the world of Mario to get a fire flower. She went into a place that had access to the Mario world to get the fire flower. Boom.
That's kind of funky. Maybe some universes can handle more magic than others, or some can handle it better than the others. This is indeed something I have considered, but regardless was still able to make multiple armors with materials. First was this one. Wanted to make armors that would allow the wearer to create and project flames, but would aesthetically both have air of strength and the elegance of a flower.
Oh, like a fireflower in Mario. Oh, wait, you even sort of got that kind of look to you. That's pretty
A
cool.
little.
You was probably tapping into the Akashic Records without even knowing it for this one, like Benny does with his mech armor sometimes. Wait, Champ, you saying this is another thing that's like a thing from a video game in your world? Yeah, it's
Yes.
like a power-up in a video game that makes you able to shoot fireballs. And what, you just ain't getting annoyed about it this time? Nah, now that Errol has explained the whole Akashic Records
this?
thing and how people can tap into the collective subconscious of the multiverse without knowing it ain't really bothering me no more that different versions of stuff from my world is popping up all over the place.
It's canon.
Actually, except if it's kind of cool. Now I'm just looking for more weird coincidences, you know? Well, look at that. It turned for the positive. I like it. Hey, by the way, do you guys notice that the more we have our little banter sessions about armors and stuff, the less time we spend actually talking about the armors? Oh yeah, I can definitely see that. That does indeed seem to be the case.
Wonder what's going on for that. Setting up for something? And, huh? Either way, I like the Fireflower set. It's nice.
Well, allow me to break the patterns then and speak
Wait, really? The screw attack upgrade? Huh. You know what? Let's, yeah, okay.
immediately more about other armors I made, as one I attempted was very strange, but I wanted to try something strange. Something none of my ancestors would have crafted in the past. Alright, where are we going now? I'm gonna guess this is gonna be a bunch of Mario stuff. Like, so maybe you got an ice flower? Or did you try making some kind of flying raccoon suit or something? Oh, I did not, though that could indeed be fun thing to attempt. No, what I made was this. Armor with latent electrical energy outputs that can be awakened by person flipping through the air, or simply moving quickly and tucking into a ball and doing somersaults. What? That's super wacky. How the heck did you come up with something like that?
It's called the
Mostly
screw
came as
attack.
a result of experimenting, was playing around with different concepts. Also, cousin Neseko recently built her own first armor, and as is tradition, we had ritual afterwards where she dyed her hair the traditional Kuznet family color. Was very beautiful ceremony. Anyhow,
nice
the
to
armor
hear.
she crafted was created from the hide of a gargantuan armadillidae, which is large version of those rolling-polling insect bugs. Though cousin Naseko
A
will
roly-poly.
correct me and say they are technically crustaceans. Anyway, in her
They
suit,
are.
she wanted to be able to dive and roll so body could become like human rolling ball. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, but also a great way to get real dizzy. Indeed,
Oh, yeah,
did not
definitely.
work out quite as well as she hoped, but was her first armor ever, so was impressive enough all the same. Anyhow, I
Agreed.
liked this idea and prompted creation of my own rolling armor, so I ended up shifting away from the rounded human ball shape and simply leaned into the magical traits I was working with. Eventually, suit came about in way wherein the wearer would tuck their body into a ball while in movement, their own kinetic energy, condensed into smaller space, would activate the magical defenses of armor. On one hand, this would mean they could be propelled farther forward in directions they were headed, but also would create energetic field around the armor that could damage anything they collided with. So they become like a weird, sparky human wrecking ball. I suppose so,
kind of.
yes. Admittedly is quite strange concept, but I do very much like the suit and am tempted to add more things to it. Okay, I think I get what's happening here. It's not all Mario stuff. Your mind tapped into like Super Smash Bros. Or something. This is like the Screw
Oh.
Attack from the Metroid games. The Screw Attack? That sounds like... Don't do it, Benny. Whatever you is about to say, just leave it alone. Oh, come on. You're gonna throw around the term like Screw Attack and I ain't allowed to do nothing with it? I'm helping you out here, Benny. You got a couple of 13-year-old kids hanging around that base of operations your friends have got, so you gotta start filtering out some of the more inappropriate jokes you tell.
Oh,
What are you talking
shame.
about? Nobody likes inappropriate jokes more than 13-year-old kids. But I guess you're kinda right. Can I tell you what I was gonna say in private later, though? Yeah, alright.
Well, not bad. I actually kinda like this one. Though probably it's kind of difficult to tuck and roll with ease.
Another armor I made, well, it does look quite intriguing. Admittedly,
Okay, so now we got the new power-up that Link has from Tears of the Kingdom. Now, here's the thing. Is that technically considered a power-up? Because it had to completely replace his limb for it to even walk. And the power-up is mostly either temporary, like the Fire Flower, or Something you have to acquire. Okay, no, with the second one, it's something you acquire. Okay, yeah, it's a power up. Going on.
Did not turn out quite as I was
Ultra
hoping.
Hand.
I wanted to make suits that could allow Vero to use telekinetic abilities and levitate objects around them, even levitate themselves. But did not quite reach that level.
Why, that looks like the Ultra Hand from the new Zelda video game in my world. That literally came out like a few weeks ago.
Yep.
It's a pretty weird coincidence, or it's not. I don't know how none of this stuff works, but anyway, does that suit also let you stick stuff together?
Well, yes, but was not intentional. For some reason,
Yep.
when I levitate things with this armor, then have object bump into other object, sticky green substance emits from it and binds two things together. Has been quite frustrating, though I admittedly am very pleased with the levitation ability having worked.
That's the
Or,
Ultra
trust
Hand.
me on this one, just lean into it. I mean, think about it. How much easier would it be to build something like, I don't know, a carriage to drag behind some horses using that armor?
Well, this is good point you make, I suppose, though intention of armor usually is not to assist in building carriages. Hey, happy accident, you know? I mean, the internet was invented because Nikola Tesla wanted to send some pictures of his feet across the planet to someone in Japan.
What?
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 Look, I know different universes got real different history, but is you sure that's how things went down in your world? How long has you folks had the blatant internet for? In my world, Tesla died in the 1940s or something, and the internet came around in the 80s.
Oh, seriously? We've had it since, like, the 50s, but folks only really started using it as a household thing around the 80s. But things only really got bad with it after this group of supervillains got together and created their own online news circuits that became popular, because folks didn't know they were supervillains at the time.
What the
They made
hell?
websites on both sides of the political spectrum just to put out news to make folks think that everyone on the other side of the political spectrum was a horrible evil monster that wanted to eat their babies or something. So that
There it
everybody
is.
would get too distracted hating each other to notice all the bad stuff the supervillains was getting up to behind the scenes.
There it is.
Well, maybe that actually ain't so different from what happens in my world.
Not at
Anyway,
all.
what else you done with that armor, Vasilia?
Well, nothing really. As I said, I thought it did not turn out as I hoped, but perhaps you are correct and I could simply utilize it for different purposes. What have you used for in this game you speak of?
Me? Nothing, actually. I ain't actually played it yet. Just watched some gameplay walkthroughs of other people playing it. But the stuff they do with it is pretty fun to see.
You watched someone else play game instead of playing yourself? How is this fun?
What?
I mean,
Who
it
is you
is.
to judge what I think is fun? You literally took us to watch snail racing a few weeks ago.
Snail racing is widely loved event to bear witness.
Snail racing? Hey, hold on. Naps the Blook. We found a friend for you. Oh, yeah, they love snail racing just as much as you. Get over here.
To in this world.
You have dragons in this world. Take us to watch a dragon race or something, you blatant muppet.
Yeah, dragon races have far less suspense than snail races, and you can hardly
Less
see what is
suspense?
happening. Dragons get too far away.
Oh yeah, I could actually see that being a problem, and yeah, that snail race was admittedly kind of fun.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I like this armor. I like it. I just props. Yes, move on. I don't.
Alright, Silly, so what was the best armor you done?
Here it is. The Super Smash Ball. Now this one is going to be interesting, considering that even this power of itself is meant to give the user their ultimate power. So, let's see how ultimate this power-up can get.
Built from the stuff you went and got from the other dimension. Was it that fire one? Because I gotta say, I'm really digging that fire one. No, far from it, in fact. The last one I built may have even been a little bit overly powerful. Though, again, I believe would work better in the world where I acquired these spells and potions from. You see, I attempted to simply mash many abilities into one armor. Again, was experimenting to see what would happen. And as far as I can tell, what I produced is armor that can, for a brief time, amplify greatly whatever inherent abilities the wearer has. Well, that's
Oh, yeah.
pretty cool. And Champ, is that a thing? Is that a video game thing, or what we got here?
No, I don't know. I'd need more information, I think. A lot of video games got things that amplify a character's ability. What specifically they do for you?
Well, the suit actually forced me into my Jaguar form, but made my
Ooh.
fangs and claws even longer and further amplified my strength and leaping abilities. Felt as though I wanted to leap around the entire village like furry lightning bolt. But, to further test the armor, I reshaped part of it and put it onto Brother Voslo. As you know, he has one hand missing, often replaced with hammer I have built for him, among other tools, and while he wore the suit, the hammer, along with the arm and armor around it, magically grew in size. With enough focus, he even found he could change the shape of the hammer into various other tools, for whatever purposes he needed to assist in chores and tasks around the village.
Dang, that's pretty cool. Can you make one of those for everybody? I mean, imagine if the whole shop gang could be super powered up like that, like the Silva when he's in his supernova state or whatever he calls it.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I do not entirely know how to replicate, as I was really throwing many things into one suit and not paying full attention to process. So I suppose I could attempt to make another. Also, increased abilities only last for half hour or so, before magical abilities of suit seem to wear off and need to rest. It's too early to say for certain, but seems suit can only be used once per day or so.
Well, has you used it today by chance?
I have not. Why? Would you like to try, Dr. Champagne?
Yes.
Well, yeah. I kind of want to know what that thing would do to me.
Who doesn't?
Oh, yeah, I'm into this idea. Let's place bets, too. I bet that mech arm of yours I done built gets amplified like crazy the way Voslo's hammer thing did.
No, Benjamin. I believe Dr. Champagne will turn into dinosaur once more, like that time in Mr. Simpovna's dimension.
Well,
Ooh.
I really hope that doesn't happen, but I suppose there's only one way to find out.
Get
Later,
the armor.
when Champagne had the armor on and active,
Oh my god, Champ, is it weird if the first time I tell you I love you is over a sandwich? Cause these paninis is so good I think I'm gonna cry.
What?
Already there, and my arm just keeps popping them out. Where's the blatant bread and prosciutto even coming from? This
What?
armor is incredible, Vasilia. We could feed this whole blatant village with these magic sandwiches.
Wait. So he puts on the armor and he becomes a freaking sandwich cannon? And just poof, firing out. Oh, what? No! I was expecting something good. But it's fine. It's like a joke. I wonder what that was about. Hold on, folks. Gonna check something. Alright, we're back. It was nothing. Let's continue on.
indeed, I am torn between wanting to share these amazing paninis with the entire world and simply wanting to hoard them all for ourselves.
I mean, we should probably share them, but, you know, after we each have a few more.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like 5 or 6 more.
Alright, well that's just funny. I like to see what happens to other people when they whale this. That is... yes.
It was definitely fun dipping back into fantasy armors, but I kind of want to try another one sometime soon, because I feel like I had to ramp a little bit up to getting back into doing fantasy armor art. So if you've got any other suggestions for things you'd like to see turned into fantasy armor, let me know in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this, I highly recommend going back to my video game characters as Suits of Fantasy Armors episode, which design-wise I think is the standout fantasy armor episode still. Also, if you'd like the inks from this episode to color yourself, as well as early access to inks and high-resolution art from all my episodes, plus access to a bonus Design Notes podcast series where I go more in-depth talking about my design and writing process, and I will have an episode coming out on Wednesday about this episode specifically, you might want to consider supporting the Popcast Studios Patreon. But besides that, that's all for today, except of course for ending this video on some kind of positive or inspiring note, and the thought I want to leave people with is something that I read from a woman named Jade Bonacolta, who said that a pattern I've noticed in charismatic people is that they don't try to be interesting. They make other people feel interesting. Everybody really just wants to feel heard, so if you can make someone feel that what they're saying actually matters to you, and that you're interested in them, they're much more likely to remember you and your conversation with them and feel some kind of connection with you. I hope that's inspiring to someone out there. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next episode on Monday.
Alright folks, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link will be in the description below, and I'll see all of you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.